In this video today, we're going to cover 30 tips for Zenless Zone Zero's 3.0 update. Everything from beginner tips all the way to advanced things you might not ever think about. My name is Mogul, sit back, relax, and let's do this. Let's start by talking about some things you can do to get more polychromes. Of course, the best way to get these will be the story, your dailies, and just doing the events every patch. But don't forget about the training and the tutorials. These are a really solid avenue of getting extra polychromes. There's the basic, technique, advanced, master tutorials, as well as the character trials that all add up pretty good. If you're a newer player, follow along with the Proxy Legend. There's 10 pages of trials that give you a whole lot of polychromes, plus is a really good general guide to follow in order to upgrade your account no matter where you are. As long as you keep pulling on any banner, you'll have enough extra pulling currency to get 5 of each kind of master tape per month. 5 standard master tapes for the standard banner, and 5 encrypted master tapes for the limited banners. Something even I forget to do to add to my polychrome bank account is to do the agent trust events. Inside the free roam for any agent that you can build trust with, there's little side missions and little side activities you can do in order to earn extra polychromes like seen here. As we get new areas like in 3.0, a lot more overworld rewards are going to be great spots for polychromes as well. Plus, you can use the time system to change your time of day so you don't have to wait around, such as your Sage in a Can and these overworld chests. Make sure you join a guild as soon as you can. This is a pretty good general tip anyway, just for extra rewards, but this also includes more polychromes. Anybody can join pretty much any amazing guild like this one right here called Shady, and by posting your commissions to the board and doing other people's commissions, you'll unlock a lot of good rewards and polychromes. If you miss some polychromes during old events that may pass, do not fret. Due to some recent updates to Zenless, these are now permanently available. However, do note that certain time-related rewards will still be lost, just not all of the polychromes. The last little tip for this polychrome section of the video is to never, ever pull or spend your polychromes on the standard banner. Pretty much in any gacha game, it's just not worth it, and you're much better off saving for limited characters and their W engines. This is of course extra important if you have terrible gacha luck or you lose all your 50/50s like me. But now let's talk about some upgrading and general characters and builds tips. First off is that any character can clear any of the content in the right team synergies. Zenless Zone Zero and the Hoyoverse games in general are very focused on team building, so if you master those mechanics, you can easily clear the endgame content. With that being said, there is some general standards for pulling, especially if you want to focus on meta. We need 3 really good teams in order to S or S plus rank Shiyu 5. As a newer player, focus on general units first if you want to min-max the meta. Some characters are very specialized, especially for rupture or attack agents. Whereas if you're a newer player, you might get more benefit if you pull for a more general unit, like an Astra Yao, Yuzaha, Dialin, or characters that can really do a lot in a vast amount of different teams. In the same vein, tier lists will always change, but usually it's quite clear who is going to be the broken units for a long time. Any character that's really hyped up or pushed for, or is the star of a patch, such as Miyabi, Yisheng Wang, or another Void Hunter, amazing support, you get the picture. Even with that all being said about the meta, there is one tactic that you can always use to guarantee success in Zenless Zone Zero when pulling characters, and that's just to pull whoever the heck you want. The cool thing about Zenless is that it's one of the easier to accomplish Hoyoverse games with regards to the endgame, as long as you have good gameplay and team synergy. As such, pull for whoever the heck you want and that you're going to enjoy. That's ultimately what the game's about. If you are like me and just absolutely love certain characters, there's tons of lore and extra filler content to help the world building. Really building that connection to character makes the game a lot better. There's even some resources to help you look into the future of Zenless Zone Zero, like the Zenless Twitter, where we can see all the drip marketing and can focus on building our respective types and teams that we want. Plus, whenever we get a brand new patch like in 3.0, it's almost certain that we get a preview of the second half character. For example, in the 3.0 story, we'll most likely get to try out Norma to see if we're going to like that character. And if you do, then you can go ahead and pull for her. As of a few patches ago, we also have a time travel system in case you're not up to date with the story. I do recommend going through the story normally since it is very good, but if you want to get to the content as early as possible, that option is there for you. As for learning and understanding these characters as they come out, there's one tactic that can help you understand pretty much anyone: reading the descriptions and their skills. You'd be surprised to know how many people forgot about Dylan's extra 2 attacks after EX Special, and a lot of other intricacies with a lot of these tougher characters like Bon Yue. These can make a significant difference if you know what you're doing, especially for certain endgame content, like the high floors of the tower. Zenless also features a very good training room where you can have different scenarios pop up, different levels of mobs, different level bosses, and really focus on learning a character. For example, when I did the Bon Yue early access, he was the toughest character we had by far in Zenless at any point in time, so I took a lot of time in training room to understand his different combos and techniques. Let's go ahead and dive into the lengthiest amount of tips we have for this video: how to build characters and obtain resources. Starting with pre-farming, there's a lot of things you can do to get ahead of the game for a character release. One of these is to use your S ranks in your daily shop. Not only does this give more Denny's, which is a super important resource at the end game, but also your chips for your skills, such as using Astriel to look over your shop while you farm ether chips for Pyrois. Using your battery charge efficiently is important as well, and it's worth keeping in mind that every time a character releases, we have what's called burnout on their character upgrade material. This uses more stamina at a time to get more rewards, so you don't have to keep spamming it as much to get your core passives quicker. As for those days you are feeling a bit extra lazy to farm your characters, you can now get a limited number of auto uses for certain content, like your disk drives. If you don't know which disk drives to use on certain characters, you're still in luck. There are character guides and proxy guides for each character in Zenless Zone Zero. You can see what the game recommends you use on the character or what other players are using, and can build accordingly. Certain characters will also have specific build targets you need to hit as well. This stat should almost always be the first priority when building a character, as it usually has a conversion rate, such as max HP to more damage. If a character has these, they're usually the first few lines of their core passive. At the very least, just focus on the gold highlighted stats for characters for the best potential in each agent. The DPS usually need crit and attack, supports love energy regen, stun once impact, etc, etc. There's also a skill upgrade suggestion for each character that's built into the game that's usually pretty on point. When you are building, it is much better to finalize an initial build before hyper-focusing on min-max stats. For example, when I build a character, I always start with the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th slot. Those 3 are the toughest to land usually since they have so many different options, so they're the most important to get right. Once you have a passable build, then you can start focusing on getting really good substats as well. Also, don't forget about the outpost logistic and association supplies, as they have some important resources there too. That's always a good spot for the gold drive disk tapes, Denny's, the extra resonating core, and even hamster passes if you want to get level 12 on a certain skill for a character. A little bit of a sneaky tip is that you can decompose your A rank engines in order to trade for a standard S rank. Even some characters' limited engines like Ice Jade Teapot for Qingyi are being added to the collectible exchange. It is a bit time consuming to decomp all these A rank engines, but it can absolutely be worth it. The last little tip for your characters is the vision potential system. If you want to get multiple copies of multiple characters, focus on getting number 1 and number 2 of their upgrades first. These give all of the actual buffs and new skills that the character will learn, whereas upgrades 3 and 6 will just buff these a little bit further. Thanks for bearing with me though, we got just a few more tips, and I didn't really know where to put these in the video, so here we go. One of my favorite quality of life updates that Zenless has ever released is the resource management system. Not necessarily regarding your characters, but your storage on your device. By going into your menu, you can conserve space for Zenless Zone Zero and get rid of all of the different story chapters and content that you've already played through. With Zenless being such a massive game, this definitely helps out on your hard drive space. If you take nothing else from this video, just remember these last 2 tips. First, go adopt Inky. Look at how cute he is, and he needs a home in your 6th Street video store. Plus, you can absolutely pet the cat. And finally, let's get a little bit cheesy. Just have fun with the game. Zenless is an amazing, laid-back, more casual Hoyoverse game if you want it to be. Pull for whoever you like as a character, whoever you vibe with. That's what makes gacha games fun. But now I want to hear from all of you. Leave your best tips below and let me know if I missed something. There's a ton of amazing content to go over in 3.0, and I can't wait to share it with you all, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. You're not going to want to miss any of them. In the meantime, I appreciate every single one of you, and remember that you're all loved. I'll see you in 3.0, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.